Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning in again for yet another exciting episode. So, by now, you should be familiar with the regulars on the show. We're still waiting for you to give us a shout out when you want to be a guest on the show. And we're waiting for those, partners, sponsors, people who want to partner with us. Let's walk this journey together. This is a topic that is big enough for everybody. Let us tell the story. Let us raise awareness in our schools, in our communities. That's what we are here to do. So, without further ado, Phyllis, I think take us through, give us some of those stats, and then we bounce it off to Rogers, and then let's get the conversation going.
Hi everyone. I figured twice is a charm, so thank you for having me again. Rogers mentioned something before we left, and all the stats which I had in my head, they vanished because I left depressed the last time. So I'm hoping after today's episode, I'm gonna go back a new person. He mentioned that some men actually get depressed, due to parents who are perfectionists. So I myself, as a perfectionist, raising a young boy, I'm worried now. So I'm here like firsthand to hear like, what are we doing as perfectionists, which is easing men into depression. I'm using the word easing because we are not making it healthy for them to lead a normal life. We are making it easy for them to grow up depressed, So I want to hear more about that part.
Okay. Very interesting that you said, I am a perfectionist. One of the most dangerous things that parents do is they want to live their lives on their children.
Yeah.
True. So the moment you start imposing your perfectionism, is a word like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
On your child.
If it's not there, we just made it up.
Yeah, we just made it up. When you start doing that on your child, you're putting a demand that is outside their ability to become. That's where the issue of depression comes into play. Because now the child is living with expectations that they cannot reach.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, you'd find, like I said the previous episode, is that when you look at the causes of most depressions with men, is boiled down to their blueprint, how they were raised, the environment they were raised. A father figure is very, very important. And we live in a very interesting country in the world where we are advocating, and there's nothing wrong with advocating feminism. There's nothing wrong with that. But the moment we seclude men out of the family, the moment there's no a role in a family of a man, you're going to literally create a disabled man in terms of their mentality. This is why we have this platform to talk about mental health. Because do you know, literally, a man or woman rather marries their father? Why? Because the father is the only blueprint they understand a man is. So when you're looking for a spouse, you're looking for similarities of your father. Look at a woman that has an abusive father. The chances are they're going to be marrying an abusive husband because it's a mental thing. So it's so sad that in South Africa, when I was doing a research on this topic, in South Africa, the South African Depression and Anxiety Group, 2021, South Africa is ranked top 10 on suicide because of mental health.
Wow.
Now, 2023, a survey was done just last year on reported mental or suicidal reports. Yeah. There were 13,774,000 people that committed suicide. 10,294 were men.
Yeah. Wow.
2,000 odd were women. So what we are saying is for every let's put it 58% suicides are going to be men.
Yeah.
Right? So men they're 5 times likely going to commit suicide
Yeah.
because of mental health. Reason is, again, we don't know how to speak our feelings. We don't know how to speak our feelings. On our first episode, I even told you that a man would rather be punched in his face
Yeah.
than to speak out. Because we were brought up, I'll give you a biblical example. I think King Solomon, as wise as he was, I think he was a mama's boy. I really do. Because he is born out of wedlock,
Yeah.
Okay.
right? And the father had many wives.
Yeah.
But he's chosen by God to be a king.
Yeah.
And even on him being a king, his mother played a vital role for him to sit on the throne. So do you see the power of being a mother? Right. So she played a very, but when the father is dying, he says something so profound. He says, prove yourself a man. Prove yourself a man.
That's interesting.
That is so interesting because being a man has got nothing to do with being male.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We are all born as males, but we are men by choice, by the choices we make. Then we become men. And let me put it this way. Manhood and Christ-likeness are synonymous.
Can you repeat?
Okay.
Manhood and Christ-likeness are synonymous.
Can you explain? Yeah. Please. Can you break it down for us?
The standard of a man that has been put by God to reconcile men to be able to stand right is Christ.
Okay.
Right? So when a man begins to imitate Christ,
Yeah.
he then moves into the realm of total manhood. Why most men are depressed is because we haven't channeled them to the creator of the product. We are trying to do things by ourselves. One of the mark of a man is the ability to take responsibility. Now, this is important. You cannot take responsibilities for your success if you don't know how to take responsibilities for your failures.
I'm tempted to say
So-
amen.
So can you put that in context, right? I think we all understand what taking responsibility for your failures looks like. It's you need to be accountable, right?
Exactly.
So you need to hold yourself accountable, first of all. And in doing that, that's when you learn from your failures. But how do you take responsibility of your success? What does that look like?
Success is dangerous.
Okay.
Success is dangerous in the sense that you are elevated.
Okay.
Failure, you're going down. You're not going up, you're going down.
Yeah.
So if you're responsible for your failures, you then know how to handle the pressures of success. Now, most men are crippled on their failures.
Yeah.
So when success comes, it depresses them. Because you then can't handle the liberty. You then can't handle the freedom it comes with success.
I think you're bringing up a very important concept of depression, that it's also prevalent in successful people, not just people who haven't made it.
Yeah.
You know, you could actually have everything in your life possibly going right according to your defined standards of right, but still be depressed.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, most successful people are very lonely people. Because you get fewer when you go up.
Yeah.
The crowd is here.
True.
On the floor of the pyramid. But as you go up the pyramid,
Yeah.
you get fewer. So look at actors, how depressed they are. Look at how many are on drugs.
Mm.
Do you understand? So it becomes important now for one to transform their lives from a life of depression to a life of freedom. Now, how do you do that? Let me put it this way to you. You cannot conform that which has been formed already. I'll give you an example. This microphone, for example, is formed already. You can't conform it. To conform is to take shape. When you take water and pour it in a glass, it conforms. It takes shape. That is why the book of Romans 12:2 tells us not to conform to the standards of the world.
So what you are saying is it's important to change the perception in our young boys, in our young men,
Yes,
before
sir.
they are fully formed into men.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So this goes back again to, I think, changing how we raise our men. And changing the, number one, the word is disappearing for me right now, the stigma.
The stigma. There you go.
Boys don't cry.
Yes, sir.
Men don't cry.
Yes, sir.
And as we said in the very beginning of this journey on this podcast, is when we say strong men cry, we are not necessarily, we're not limiting crying to the actualization of tears, but crying would be reaching out, speaking out
Yeah.
to somebody, and firstly, self-actualization, to say that I have a problem, I am not okay.
Yes.
And this is our tagline here. It's okay
Not to be okay.
not to be okay. And we need to start spreading that word from every platform that we have access to, in our schools, in the workplace, in our families, at home, right? We need to normalize speaking about what we are going through.
Yes.
And when I embarked on this journey to become a mental wellness advocate, I posted one of the trailers that we did in the studio, where I was speaking about depression and talking about my own journey. And I actually had someone commented and said that this is why we have so many weak men in this day and age, because you are promoting showing weakness. And I'm like, what I say to that person, I'm like, well, I pray to God that you never experience what I experienced,
Yeah.
because I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I wouldn't wish depression and anxiety on anybody else. But it can catch you unaware. It will catch you unaware. It will catch you off guard. I mean, it's we have lost so many people to suicides. We've lost celebrities. We've lost people that we've looked up to, and we still stand to say, what, that guy was depressed. It's still alarming.
Yeah.
And it's because of comments like that, right? There's a lot of people who share the same sentiments that person shared.
Of course.
To say, by speaking out, you are definitely then watering down, showing weakness, which is completely not true. And I disagree with that sentiment. I strongly disagree with that.
You see what you did? You took responsibilities for your failure.
Yeah.
You took responsibility for your failure and said, listen, I am responsible. Depression, for us to cure depression, we have to understand and look at the root cause. What has caused me to be depressed?
Yeah.
That is the first stage of taking responsibility.
Yeah.
That is the mark of a man. The mark of a man is the ability to take responsibility. Say, listen, this has caused me to be depressed. what should I do?
Yes, Rogers.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's where the interventions comes on.
sir.
Yes.
And I like his quotation of the Bible. I don't read Bible, sorry, but I know a little bit of it. So now, spirituality is part of interventions that come when a person is depressed. And there's a confusion whereby people think religion is the same as spirituality, whereby it's not true.
Yeah.
So spirituality is believing on a higher power that gives you a purpose, as you, Rogers, or as I, as Gazani, or you, as Phyllis. Then religion, they follow trends or certain cults or certain rules and regulation.
Yes.
That's the two different things.
Yes.
Every one of us in this room is spiritual. But how do you evoke that spirituality so that it can help you with your mental health? Then now, we're coming to, you asked about stress because it leads to anxiety, it leads to depression.
Yeah.
I have 4 A's for you to intervene when it comes to stress. The 4 A's, we have the avoid, the alter, the adapt, and the accept.
Oh, I love that.
Wow. Nice.
I call it the 4 A's.
Yeah.
So you avoid, first thing first, you avoid the causative factors that will raise your stress up or your BP up or that will anger you. For instance, you know, a certain individual at your workplace, they always provoke you because they are jealous. They want your position.
Yeah.
And you are entertaining them because you do not know. So by doing so, then you must be mindful of the environment and the words that are being said by
There
the
you
person.
go.
Yeah.
There you
Because remember, what I say to you, you have no control over.
Yeah.
But you have control over how you react to what I say to you.
There you go.
So you avoid such a person. Hi, you leave like that. Or a situation that you know,
It's going to anger you.
traffic, small thing. You always know that you're going to work by 8 o'clock, you must be at work, but you leave 7:30. And at that stop sign, there is what? A traffic. You are there angry, you know, swearing and all this thing. You're even sweating, then you have to turn the aircon on.
Yeah.
For what? Leave early, leave your house earlier or change
Avoid.
the route. Avoid. You understand? Avoid.
Yeah.
Then if you can't avoid, because other situations are unavoidable, like a colleague,
Yeah.
you work with them. You alter.
Yeah.
How do you alter? Your perceptions towards this situation.
Oh, yeah.
You alter. How you see this thing, you alter that.
Yes.
It's very important. If you used to see a person as pompous, but try to put yourself in their shoes and see if they are pompous or not. You understand? So you alter your perception of the situation or the person that you interact with. Then you bring yourself down a little bit.
True.
So that you can cope at that moment.
So you know how to deal with this person.
Exactly. You understand? But if you can alter, adapt.
Yeah.
When you adapt, I liked what you said when we started, that you fell into financial problems, that you had to sell your car, your house. You adapted. He adapted.
Okay.
Because he was here. But this life was not able to maintain it. But what he did, he didn't change himself. But he adapted and adjusted his lifestyle so that he can cope well here at this level.
Yes.
And he'll work from here to where you were.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Rather than persistently keeping there and say what people will say. Hey, I'm going back to my mama's house. Now I was staying in a very fancy neighborhood. You understand? So adapting also helps to call or to curb the stress in our lives.
Wow.
If you are willing to compromise other things that are wants but not needs, then it will ease your stress level every day. So therefore, it will prevent you to go into depression. You understand? Then lastly, acceptance. We fail at acceptance.
Yeah.
We fail.
Yeah.
We fail. You see things as they are. You want to paint them differently.
True.
You want to say, no, but like you talked about responsibilities and accountability. We don't want to account because we are not able to accept the situation. If you are down and about, accept that I'm down and about.
Yeah.
What can I do to bring myself up again?
True.
Because if you don't accept, you will never have plan B. or you will never devise a plan to sort what problem that you are in.
True.
So when you accept, then it helps you mitigate the stress. You understand?
Wow.
Then now, coming to personal level, when you do self-care, it's also one of the intervention. Self-care has got 5 pillars.
Yeah.
Has got 5 pillars, has got the social pillar, has got the physical health pillar, has got emotional pillar, it has got the intellectual pillar, and lastly, the spiritual pillar. When you care for yourself physically, we forget the mental part of it. We go physical, we say, oh, okay, my sugar level, let me go check the sugar level or the blood level, we go to the doctor.
Yes.
We forget that this is the computer box. If it bends, what will happen? The body will shut.
Exactly. Yeah.
You understand? You waking yourself up too much is not necessary.
True.
We need to rest. So on your physique, instead of waking yourself up too much, do bit by bit until you reach where you want to reach. Because if you overwhelm yourself, then you might not cope at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You understand? Social. Be careful
Yeah.
at the social level. Be careful of the surroundings, the one you associate with. I will always say people will always want to have many friends.
True.
And remember, if a locomotive it's only set to carry 12 coaches and you put 15 coaches, what will happen to the engine? It will crash. Same as us.
Yeah.
God has perfected that we need to be at certain point, at certain time, with certain people. If it means that when I grow, I must let go of other people, let me let them go. I mustn't hold on them because I don't know. If I hold on you, and I won't be able to catch something good or something better when I leave you. So the association is very important. My own quotation that I always say, valuability over availability.
Oh, I love that.
Amen to that.
If you are always available, you can never be valuable. Because
True.
you are readily available. People will use you, but when you are scarce, you become valuable. Then they know your worth.
Yes.
That's what you need to do when it comes to social.
I love that.
Intellectual people, you can never be myopic.
Yeah.
But we choose to be myopic. Intellectual. There's internet. But most people choose to go to TikTok and watch whatever that they watch. And they laugh and all that stuff. You can learn. You know you lack persistence or you lack resilience or you lack self-esteem. There's a lot of apps that you can download from your phone or from where.
That is not TikTok.
Exactly. Then you learn how to cultivate self-esteem, how to cultivate or how to keep anger. Read
books as well.
Read books, but we don't do that. That's the intellectual part. You don't need to go to university. As we talk about intellectual. You enrich yourself where you lack. If you know you are very temperament, at home you are a lion, then you must work on it through researching. Now coming to the emotional part. Emotions are always driving us. If you cannot control your emotions, you won't be able to live with people. Yes, we are an emotional people because we are human beings. But you must check yourself. When your emotions changes from happy to sad to angry. Being angry, yes. If we can do that, then you'll be able to do one thing, like anger. You just take deep breath. Simple.
I wish it was that simple.
You take deep breath and you don't breathe from here. You know, sometimes people will be panting like dogs. That's not okay. You breathe like you
from your
feel
diaphragm,
from the stomach. And pull it in, and then you hold it for 5 seconds and release it slowly. I'm telling you, anger will just subside.
Wow.
Subside.
So guess what? While we have you on that, right? The importance of dopamine and serotonin in our minds. I know that there's. Could you maybe share a little bit on that? Like maybe ways that we can generate or we can help our bodies to generate natural dopamine instead of enhancements through alcohol, substance abuse, or that the addiction factors that we covered in the previous episodes.
Thank you, Arthur. Simple thing, exercise.
Yeah.
Exercise.
Like just exercise.
Exercise, whether passive or active.
Yeah.
You can't start actively. If you have lacked for a few months, you can start passively. Just while you are sitting at the sofa watching television, you just do your leg like this.
Okay.
Or just as you have the space around yourself, do those things because they will help you. Soon you'll be seeing yourself joking or doing something or doing push-ups.
So that's creating habit.
That's creating habit,
Yes.
yes. But remember, when you create a habit, you have to be consistent for 21 days. Then it becomes a habit.
habit,
If you break it, then it's not going to be a habit. You have to continue 21 days thoroughly, and then it will become.
So
a
my
habit
transformation is really based on my ability to create self-empowering habits.
Yes, correctly. Yes, Rogers. That's how you have to supposed to do. If you find your old habits no longer user-friendly for yourself, change. Your
Yeah.
hobbies, change hobbies.
Yeah.
So avoid alcohol. We'll not say don't drink it, but avoid it. Avoid it or drink less.
Yeah.
Avoid nicotine
Yeah.
because most of the people tend to alcohol.
And caffeine.
Yes, they tend to alcohol, they tend to nicotine, they tend to eating junk food. Let me tell you something. There's a problem with people. People don't sleep, Arthur. People don't sleep. Why? Because they worry too much and they eat a lot of food containing acid. And it inhibits them from sleeping. When they are supposed to be sleeping, then the acid inhibits them because now they will have heartburns or ulcers being triggered. Or you eat, you fill up your stomach. When you're supposed to sleep, you are tossing and turning because the diaphragm is being pressed by the stomach. You are not even breathing nice. You're
So
thinking
you're
maybe
adding fuel to the fire.
you understand.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of sleep is the first cure
Yeah.
for stress.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
Very interesting.
If you can harness good behavioral sleep, we call it sleep hygiene.
Sleep hygiene,
If you can harness sleep hygiene, you will be able. You see, brain.
But I want to add on something there. Remember, there's something that you covered in the past episodes that change in behavior. So most people would tend to lose sleep when they're going through anxiety or depression. They won't sleep.
Yes.
I, however, work differently. When I'm depressed, I sleep. I can spend the whole day in bed.
I
You're
mentioned
like
that.
me.
Yeah,
I mentioned
I'll like I would sleep without sleeping. Like you can.
But your mind is up.
your
That's the
mind
thing.
is my mind is up, so I could spend 8 hours with my eyes closed, but when I wake up, I'm tired because my mind keeps
has
on
been
working.
working. Yeah.
Yes. Your mind keeps on working, and I believe that's I believe I'm not the one. You've just mentioned that you also like that. So I'm not. I can't be unique to that.
No, you are right because it's either lack of sleep or oversleeping.
Yes.
Same as anorexia or bulimia nervosa. Lack of appetite and maybe too much of that. Eating too much is bulimia nervosa, and anorexia nervosa is not eating at all. Maybe losing health, become macerated. You understand? Depression is different with different people. That's why even the treatment, pharmacological treatment, it might work for me, but it might not work
On
for
the
you.
other person.
So that's why it's individualized.
I'm asking this question for a friend. Is there a way that you can trade like conditions, like I can trade some of my depression for some of like an eating disorder?
No, I can't trade.
That is a fair question. I'll tell you why. You mentioned issue of association and social.
Yeah.
And you got me thinking, we have 3 friends in our lives. We have friends that like what we like.
Yeah.
The day you change what you like, they're no longer your friend.
Yes.
You have friends that don't like what you don't like. But the third level of friendship is, which is very hard to find, is confidence.
Yes.
To have someone, do you know why most men don't have anyone that they are accountable to? Because men have never been told or been taught to submit.
Yeah.
Men don't know how to submit. Submission is for women, but it's not how we were created.
Submit to who?
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's
So,
the
so,
thing.
so as a man,
Okay,
you always
besides God,
Yeah.
right? So we gotta submit to God.
exactly. So your confidant is someone that you can submit to. He's not your mentor. He's not your coach.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a friend. But I am so confident. If I tell you I'm suffering from this particular depression, you're not going to tell your wife.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not gonna. So I remember on one of the episodes I asked you as Christians,
Yeah.
how many people are confident in going to their pastors or to their elders or to
Yeah.
their deacons
Yeah.
to then say, listen, I'm suffering from and be happy and live and say, no, there's no stigma or it's not gonna preach about me. So one of the weakest point in a man is to be able to find someone who they can confide in and say, listen, I am suffering. He's talking about sleeping. You and I agree. The moment I sleep, I am not sleeping. I'm trying to avoid conflict. I'm trying to avoid thinking about, but I'm still thinking about it. So the remedy, the best remedy,
Yeah.
in as much as we create platforms like this, is this platform must create a channel or a link where I can have a confidant, an anonymous confidant,
Yeah.
someone I can share with my experience and say, listen, this is what I'm going through. Remember when we started, I told you about me being dyslexic.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's easy for you to then say, he was dyslexic. No, it's hard for me because I carry the stigma. I'm the one. So the moment I start sharing this to someone who's intelligent academically, they would then regard me as, So that is what my fear would be. Yeah.
Well, when you have another topic, right, another session without women in it, I would want you guys to discuss the possibility of this. You can't find a confidant. Why do men think it's not okay for the world to know that you are not okay? It goes back to your friend who said, this is the reason why we no longer have strong men in the world. Because you went out to the world and declared that I'm not okay. At what point are you guys going to be honest with yourself that you are fine with A, B, C, D, knowing that you are not okay? It's not a sign of weakness. I have more than 10 friends who know that I'm not okay. It's fine.
As a woman.
As a woman,
Yeah.
why is it not okay for you guys
men.
as men? And what are you going to do about it? To get to a point where you say, I'm willing to lose A, B, C, D, if it means I'm going to get the help I need by letting the world in and know that I'm not okay.
It's by taking responsibility for your failures. Because look here, what we are saying is, for even this platform to say it's okay not to be okay, it won't apply much to a woman because you have so many confidants.
Yeah.
You have societies where you just sit and you mourn and you talk about things.
Yeah.
We don't have those things because, number one, our environment, the way we grew up, the way our fathers taught us, and so on and
Yes.
so forth. There are so many. There could be reasons or excuses,
Yeah.
but they are there. So he talked about finding the right people to talk to, avoiding. Right? He talked about avoiding conflict or avoiding the person in and adjusting. So here's the thing: is I have told Arthur I'm going through this. Arthur has told his wife has told you, and you are friends with my wife, and my wife has told me. I have lost confidence
In
in him.
Yeah.
So you, if it's a woman, you say, no. I'm not gonna. It's that easy for you. But I have destroyed a friendship because of lack of confidence.
confident.
So to find a confident, do you know that you can take a lifetime
Before
to
you
find
confident.
a confidant? A lifetime. For a woman, it might just take 2 minutes. It's easy. Why? Because women naturally are emotional. Do you know that a man can cheat his wife without emotions, but a woman can't cheat their husbands without emotions?
True.
Because we are built that way.
So Roger, to add on what you're saying or to answer her question or her motion, I think change starts with us.
Yeah.
This generation.
Yeah,
It's like when we say we want to cut the generational curse from what. So if we're going to rear our children, especially the boys, the way I want to raise them and the way I believe that it will make them better persons, let us do that. And but let's not forget our roots as African. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, sir.
Let's teach them all. Okay, it's okay to go and confine in a certain person. What they are saying, if they're going to bloom and say it to anyone else, I always say the more they share or gossip around with your problems, the more God elevates you.
Yeah.
You become lighter. Even here, the shoulders are no longer heavy because now they are saying, in fact, they are praying for you in disguise. Because now, let me tell you one thing. There's never a thing that will happen without God knowing.
Of course.
Share. Even if you are taking a taxi, share with a stranger. Go bombard that person with your problems. He's a stranger. He will go and write it on Facebook. It's fine. You will see the comments. There will be solutions right there and there.
Right there.
Because no man is an island, by the way.
Yes.
We are here indirectly or directly going to help each other.
Yeah.
So if you can speak, but we need to cultivate men who are able to speak, but they mustn't feel ashamed, because the problem is that we're and they take it literally. The thing is that as men, like you say, the horror, we call it a horror here. It's stronger where men gather and they talk. You understand? Unless if we bring it back, because it's the new millennium, we bring it back in style, then it will help.
And I think we can, because we have already started. You see, this is the platform that we have started.
Exactly, because I wanted to answer your question. Like in answering your question is, we've already started.
We have started.
We've already started. We are here right now. We are sharing our feelings. We are sharing our experiences. This is going to go on to every platform. We're going to be on YouTube. We're going to be on...
That's exactly
we're going to be on streaming platforms, right?
But do you know how hard it is for him to even actually come and tell the world I was depressed, or I was suffering from depression or mental health? Do you know how hard it is for me to then tell you, no, I was dyslexic? Do you know how hard it is for him to... It's hard for us to even start this conversation. But because we have started this conversation, do you know how many people we have helped?
Yeah.
True. Yeah, thank you.
So guys, I don't know, we always run out of time.
We're having fun.
Yeah.
No, this has been such yet another powerful message, and we haven't even begun to unpack. There's so much that needs to be said. There's so much that we need to unpack, and so many mitigation issues. We're gonna talk about how we can further develop all those mitigation, the 4 A's as Gezani mentioned them. Thank you very much for tuning in. We've run out of time, and we've come to an end to our very special episode. We still have a lot to unpack, so catch us on the next episode as we continue this conversation with the very same guests as we bring it to a close. Thank you.